Okay, this is going to be just a quick explanation, common sense approach to something that I've heard that people have left the church over, and that was the fact that Joseph Smith has given multiple accounts of the first vision. I've heard people say, well, he couldn't be a prophet if that were the case. So let's analyze that. Um, I'll just tell you just a quick, like a kind of an example story. If you were to, like, if I was 14 years old and I went to Disneyland and I experienced the things that I experienced at Disneyland, but then later on in life when I became an adult, maybe had a few kids, I decided that I was going to write about that experience that I had going to Disneyland. And so I would write it down to the best of my recollection. And then later on, if my daughter were to ask me about that experience at Disneyland, I might explain to her rides such as It's a Small World, and explain to her, if I was trying to get her to want to go to Disneyland, I would tell her about that and some of the things you can do there. Whereas if I was to explain the same experience at Disneyland to my son, I might tell him about the Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm telling you that just so you realize that all versions of the story are true, but it could just be the audience. I want to apply a different part of the story to to this particular audience that I have. And so that's as really as simple as it gets. Joseph Smith was 14 years old when he experienced the first vision, and he didn't write about it till years later. And then different accounts of it came because he'd be asked questions about it. So based on those that he might have been talking to, he would uh, concentrate on a different part of that story. So it's really very simple. It's not something that you have to question because there's three different versions of it. It's just the recollections of how he recalled it on each different occasion. So it's really pretty simple.